Okay, so here's a video for you guys. The suicide rates for US veterans has increased tenfold from 2006 to 2020. Now, this is just absolutely insane. And people are wondering why people aren't joining the military. This is why. You see mentally ill veterans, you see homeless veterans, you see lonely, depressed veterans everywhere you go. That four-year enlistment in the army will change your life forever. Once you enlist into the army, you become a number. You have no more free will. You are property of the United States government, and they can tell you to do whatever they want. You're their personal slave. If they want you to break war crimes, you'll have to break war crimes. Think about that stuff later. And these veterans are just utterly depressed because they were tricked into being sent into Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam. They're all depressed because now they have a conscience. Their conscience is at play. And who's taking responsibility? Nobody has been arrested for sending us into these faulty wars, these lied and manipulating wars that they tricked our soldiers into fighting under false pretenses. They get away with it every single time. And the only recourse we have as a people is to not join the military. That's our only right in this country. We don't have to join the military, which is good, And they can enact a draft, but that will be extremely unpopular. No, that will be political suicide. So yeah, don't join the military because it might give you depression. It might make you suicidal. They morph you into a freaking monster, a killing machine. And then once you're thrust back into the civilian world, you have all these PTSDs. You have suicidal thoughts, depression, and there's no sort of free healthcare to deal with it. There's no sort of free counseling to deal with it. You are just stuck with it. You can't even afford to buy a home because the skills you learned in the military don't apply to the civilian world. Learning to be a soldier is way different than learning to be a freaking worker in a cubicle. So this it's just a scam. It's just a scam, man. It's a scam. Life in this modern world is not suited for a soldier. You are supposed to be as neutered as possible. You are supposed to be as non-aggressive as possible. You're supposed to be able to conform to anybody's ideals and beliefs. You're never supposed to speak out on it. And if you do, you're all of a suddenly unfit for society. You're unfit for this world. You're unfit to be a self-sustaining human being. Don't like being told what to do 24 hours a day? Well, guess what? You're now homeless. You can't afford a house. You can't afford food. And Mr. CEO here, he can literally buy up your entire city and raise the prices and price gouge. He's not breaking any laws. He's not breaking any laws. Meanwhile, the person just trying to do the right thing, just trying to put food on the table, they get arrested. Oh, you stole a freaking salad from Walmart. Oh, you're breaking the law. You're a criminal. But somebody who could just steal billions of dollars, it gets swept under the rug. Look up the time when the Pentagon literally stole 1 trillion. No, not 1 trillion. $2 trillion, and nothing happened. That was the day before 9/11. They stole $2 trillion and nothing happened. This was the day before 9/11. $2 trillion missing. It was a huge announcement. Then 9/11 happened. So you tell me who is the real criminal. You tell me who really needs to be held accountable. You know how much $2 trillion is? That could feed every man, woman, and child in this country for years, if not decades. And we wonder why our buying power is toilet paper. We wonder why $10 is equal to like 50 cents now. in terms of buying power compared to like 20 years ago. You tell me. Who's responsible? Look at the people who's responsible. Don't look at the victims of the system. Look who's controlling that system. Look who is puppeteering this system. Okay, it's fairly obvious. You want to blame the homeless person, you want to blame the criminal, you want to blame everybody but the people in power promoting this. The people in power that have literally allowed this to happen, allowing drugs to flow over the border, allowing two corporations to control the entire housing market, allowing monopolies to thrive, allowing these forever wars. Who's holding them accountable? We have police that will arrest you for going 5 over the speed limit, but we don't have police that will arrest somebody for lying, cheating, being corrupt, killing people overseas and under false pretenses. But let the common man do 1/1000th of what they are doing and they get a life sentence. So it's a 2-tier system, a 2-tier form of justice, a 2-tier society, a literal caste system based on wealth. If you are poor, you might as well be dirt. You might as well be toilet paper. You might as well be garbage, because that's what the system treats you like. No access to anything. No access to clean water. Look at Flint, Michigan. It's like 10 years later, they're still drinking the same nasty brown sewer water. Like, come on, man. We're supposed to be the shining beacon of the world, America. When has America been great? At what point in time has America ever been great? When? You tell me. Because all throughout our history, it's been a handful of people up top controlling the entire country. It's never been truly a democracy. And at one point you had slavery, where the slaves were at the very bottom, no rights, nothing. And then you had the poor white people. Then you had the elite that controlled the Vanderbilts, all those types of people that just had unlimited power. Meanwhile, you couldn't even afford basic necessities. You were living out in the middle of nowhere, in a shack. You were living in huts, in the middle of cities. No water, no food, no nothing. When has America been great? We've been playing the same two-party game for almost 200 years. Democrat, Republican, nothing has changed. Nothing has been fixed. Everything is exactly the same. There's even more slavery now than there was back then. There's more people working for free, being paid under the table. People are literally not paying. They're having, look up child labor rates. Children literally working for free. Thousands of children just being forced to work for free, and there's nothing they can do about it. There'll be and companies like McDonald's, they always allow children to get behind the counter and help out, unpaid, of course. Always. And once they're caught by the quote-unquote regulation agencies, they just get a slap on the wrist. The fine is less of value than the money they save from actually having child labor. Okay, this is not fair. We have not progressed. All of these so-called progressive parties, they have done nothing to fix the system. They are only here to give you the illusion of change, the illusion of hope, the illusion of a power struggle, when really they are both on the same team. They are both part of the elite oligarchy, aristocracy, secret societies that manipulates your environment in order to control you. That is all this is about. That is all election is. They can rig it. The Democratic Party can rig their own elections. The Supreme Court already ruled this. They said, yes, you can rig the election. You're a private company. You're a private entity. Republicans can do the same. Yeah, you can rig the election. You're a private company, a private agency. So if that's already their attitude towards democracy, imagine what the government can do when it comes to rigging. The voting machines, you don't even know if your vote counts. You don't know where your vote is going. It's not like the voting machines are open source where you can just look up where your vote went, where you voted, what your vote number is, who you voted to. No. You just put it in the machine and you have no idea what happens. For all you know, your vote was completely just erased or deleted. You don't know. And we say, oh, we're a democracy. We're a democracy. Oh man, we're freedom. No, we are the least free country on earth. I will say this as an American. I will say this. We are the least free country. We are the most unstable, undemocratic country. And the reason I say that is because we don't even know we live in a dictatorship. We are the only dictatorship where its people don't know they live in a dictatorship. Even the citizens in North Korea know that they live in a dictatorship. It's only Americans that don't realize they live in a dictatorship. They are completely brainwashed, completely under a 1984 mindset, thinking they actually mean something in the system, thinking they actually have free speech. Ask all the leaders in the 60s how much their free speech counted. They were all assassinated under the table. They were all taken out once they started talking about socialism, once they started calling out the big money makers. Then they were taken out. But it's okay to just sing kumbaya, yay, we're free, all day, 24/7. But the moment you say things aren't right, things aren't fair, then they take you out. Then they start to shut you up. Okay, this is my short little video. I don't even know. I was just rambling for like 20 minutes, but yeah, that's my thoughts.